Today on NewsWatch, Hillary Clinton gets a bounce while Donald Trump has claimed victory in this week's debate. A new poll shows otherwise. But will it last? Plus, a new discovery confirms the Bible. Will show you what archaeologists in Israel have just learned about King Hezekiah. And an illiterate underdog who rose from the slums to become a chess champion. See how God transformed her life in this true story in theaters today. And thank you so much for your company and for watching CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. With less than 40 days until voters head to the polls, both presidential candidates are sprinting through the swing states. The Clinton campaign gaining momentum from the first debate as Trump takes his attacks against Clinton to a whole new level. Caitlin Burke is on the story.
Both candidates may still be claiming victory after Monday's debate, but the polls show that Hillary Clinton is the one gaining momentum. Data experts say the Democratic candidate appears to have gained a point or two in a race that had basically become a toss-up. And that gain may be temporary, so both candidates are still pushing hard for every vote.
Either Donald Trump or I will be the president of the United States. And so people have to look carefully in making their decision about who to vote for, because it will be either him or me. And I am going to do everything I can to make sure it's me.
With the next debate only 10 days away, Trump is reportedly resisting attempts to change his approach, even as top Republicans call for more serious preparation. Instead, he's pressing ahead with his aggressive strategy and focusing on winning over new voters, keeping up his attacks on Clinton's record.
She and her financial backers will say anything, do anything, lie about anything to keep their grip on power, to keep their control over this country.
Trump may also go after how Hillary treated the women that her husband, former President Bill Clinton, had affairs with. This after Clinton brought up his treatment of a former Miss Universe in the first debate.
He called this woman Miss Piggy. Then he called her Miss Housekeeping because she was Latina. Donald, she has a name.
Where did you find
her
this?
name
Where
is
did you find
Alicia
this?
Machado.
Trump says he held his tongue in the debate to avoid embarrassing Mrs. Clinton. Now he's seeking to tie her to her husband's scandal-marked presidency.
The American people have had it with years and decades of Clinton corruption and scandals. Corruption and scandals. And impeachment for lying. Impeachment for lying. Remember that? Impeach.
With this presidential race as controversial as ever, it remains tight, and there are still 2 debates to go. In the end, our next president is highly likely to come down to the battleground states and voter turnout. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Donald Trump is unveiling a new pro-life advisory council. CBN's David Birdie reports the council includes an all-star list of more than 30 congressmen and governors who will make sure every voter hears the campaign's pro-life message. The council's leader, Marjorie Dannenfelser, says the policies outlined by Mr. Trump are not only important to pro-life-based voters, but they appeal to a majority of Americans who oppose Hillary Clinton's plans to make taxpayers pay for even late-term abortion on demand. Trump's campaign hopes this new step will help him to reach undecided evangelical voters. A coalition of African-American leaders took to the nation's capital Thursday to denounce the Democratic Party. While no one endorsed a specific candidate, they say it is time to stop voting based on personality and to start voting for platform.
Then we vote our morals and values, and then we can vote our conscience, and then we'll decide what candidate fits it.
The biggest issues they addressed Thursday were abortion, religious liberty, and the breakdown of the family. The coalition believes the future of the Black community starts at the polls. More than 1/3 of the world's nations sent presidents, kings, princes, and senior officials to Israel today to honor former Israeli President Shimon Peres. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was joined by President Obama and Bill Clinton as the pioneer of modern Israel was laid to rest Friday in Jerusalem.
Shimon lived a life of purpose. He soared to incredible heights. He swept so many with his vision and his hope. He was a great man of Israel. He was a great man of the world. We find hope in his legacy as does the world.
He imagined all the things the rest of us could do. He started off life as Israel's brightest student, became its best teacher, and ended up its biggest dreamer.
מתכבד להזמין את נשיא ארצות הברית, ברק אובמה.
I could not be more honored to be in Jerusalem to say farewell to my friend Shimon Peres, who showed us that justice and hope are at the heart of the Zionist idea. A free life in a homeland regained.
אומר לאדוני מחסי ומצודתי אלוהי אבטח בו כי הוא יצילך מפח יכוש מדבר אבות.
Israeli archaeologists believe they've uncovered new evidence about King Hezekiah, and they say it supports the biblical account he destroyed the high places and idols in the land of Israel. John Wagi shows us what they found.
This latest discovery by Israeli archaeologists goes back to the First Temple period, about 800 BC. They say it appears to parallel the Bible from the time of King Hezekiah. Hezekiah reigned 29 years here in Jerusalem, and Scripture says he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, so that there was no king like him after him in Judah. But Hezekiah had trouble in his kingdom. This gate shrine was uncovered during recent excavations in the Tel Lachish National Park of central Israel.
The city gate in the biblical period, it's something that a place that everything is going on inside.
Archaeologist Sa'ar Ganor said ancient Lachish was an important city, second only to Jerusalem.
Closing to the wall, we have a lot of benches with a pilaster, with a white pilaster, with armrest that people can sit.
Elders, judges, and kings would have sat here in the administrative headquarters. Scoops, jars, and handles also point to the royal and administrative nature of the gate.
We found a lot of jars that call Lamelech jars. It means belong to the king.
Other discoveries indicate the presence of cults and that Hezekiah dealt harshly with them. That evidence included 2 horned altars with the horns cut off. 2 Kings 18:4 reads, King Hezekiah removed the high places, smashed the sacred stones, and cut down the Asherah poles. Archaeologists also talked of a significant and somewhat humorous sign of the times.
A special find that we have in this place, we have the toilet. It's a cube with a hole in the middle.
Also in 2 Kings, Scripture says Jehu broke down the sacred pillar and altar of Baal and made it a latrine to this day.
And now it's the first time that we have that we can identify the story from the Bible in Tel Lachish with the toilets.
These pieces offer proof of the Bible's telling of what Hezekiah did.
With the removing the horns, canceling the Holy of the Holies of the gate shrine that we found, and the toilet make it impure.
In part of the excavation, they dug through more than a foot of destruction and found arrowheads and slingshots that, according to Ganor, confirms the conquest of Assyrian King Sennacherib.
It's like to take the Bible in your hand.
Ganor added the Bible can stand on its own.
We don't need to prove the Bible. We have the Bible and we have archaeologists. If it's matching, it's matching. Here in our story, it's matching.
John Wagi, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Back here in the U.S., a woman who lives in Kansas says she was told she could not pray in her own home. Police confronted Ann Sauce and demanded to enter her apartment over a noise complaint. She did not initially open the door for police, and the officers threatened to arrest her. Sauce says she asked to pray beforehand, but she was denied that right. That is according to the First Liberty Institute. The police gave her a citation over the violation, and she took the case to federal court, but the district threw it out. Sauce and her attorneys are still trying to have their day in court. Coming up, Duck Dynasty, Sadie Robertson on a mission to reach her generation with some good news. We'll hear from Sadie about her latest project. That story is coming up next. Duck Dynasty, Sadie Robertson is hitting the road with a show called Live Original. And as Angela Zatopek reports, she has a message for teenagers of what real confidence is all about.
Star of the hit series Duck Dynasty, runner-up on Dancing with the Stars, and best-selling author, Sadie Robertson is now traveling the country with quite the squad on her Live Original tour. I'm here backstage catching all the action right here in Dallas, Texas. So tell me about Live Original.
So Live Original is something that my dad actually called me the original when I was 5 years old. And it just kind of stuck, and that became my message. I wanted to preach confidence into the lives of teens around America, around the world. And it's just crazy. It's our first tour, and it's finally here.
It's definitely a really proud mom moment here tonight to just see it all come together.
The tour will hit 16 cities across the U.S. Their mission? To help this generation go from chained to changed, bringing an open discussion on what should ultimately define confidence for teens.
I always tell people, right after Dancing with the Stars, I was probably in the best shape of my life, and probably the best shape I'll ever be in my life. And looking in the mirror, I could still pick out the flaws, and I could still be insecure. And that was when I was in the best shape of my life. But it's because my heart wasn't pure, and my heart wasn't looking for the right things. So when you work on your heart and not always work out your body, then you become more confident, and you don't have to compare yourself.
Sadie's mom says even the lives of big stars aren't perfect. They have their flaws and weaknesses like everyone else.
You can look at our kids and think, oh, they got it all made. You know, they've got everything they ever want, their family's famous or whatever, but everyone is chained to something, chained to things in our own heart and mind, and we can all be changed through Christ. And so that's really the part of the message.
What's it like to travel with your family and be able to just talk about Jesus? Yeah. How awesome.
It's amazing. It's truly like the biggest blessing.
I think the journey from where we were prior to Duck Dynasty and the fame and everything, we like to say that it was different, but we were still us, you know? And we tried to really stay the same people throughout the whole thing.
Targeting topics that face our generation today, the stage is set as a casual living room to get deep on navigating through those different obstacles.
It's going to be awesome to see these kids really be vulnerable and tell, you know, the hard times in their life, but also to just challenge, you know, the young people out there and be like, we can make a difference in this generation.
Musical artists loving the outcome, and Family Force 5 also add entertainment for the night, and maybe a few other surprises.
I saw some sumo wrestler. Are you going to be getting into a costume back there?
You know, there may be some surprises.
Yeah.
For a full list of tour dates, go to CBNNews.com. From Dallas, Texas, I'm Angela Zatopek for CBN News.
And as she said, to see those 16 cities where Live Original is playing, you can check us out at CBNNews.com. Up next, it is a miracle story now turned into a star-studded Disney film. I'll introduce you to the real Queen of Katwe and show you how God redeemed her life in a truly surprising way. An unlikely tale of hope and triumph hits theaters today. It is a true story of a young girl's journey of faith from the slums of Uganda to international chess champion. I had the privilege of meeting the girl who is now called the Queen of Katwe.
We shall live together. We shall live together someday.
Fiona Mutesi's story is so heartwarming and inspirational.
Let's do it again, one more time, and action.
Hollywood traveled to an often forgotten slum in Uganda to tell it. You say this is a miracle story?
That's what we feel.
Yeah, I'm confident and I'm sure it's more like a miracle because there are things which you can't comprehend.
Fiona's unexplainable rise to chess champion began at this wooden hut in Katwe, where Robert Katende runs a recreation ministry for children. As a hungry 9-year-old, Fiona would stand outside peeking through the cracks. Robert invited her in, fed her, and began teaching her to play the game, though she didn't even know how to read.
I feel like everything that has happened right now is because of God who has been behind everything. Yeah.
So he had this plan for you.
Yep.
Joseph, why are you letting her win?
I'm not letting her.
She won your bishop.
What I'm saying cannot be true.
Hollywood heavyweight David Oyelowo brings Robert to life on screen. You disappear in your roles, from a killer in Captive to Martin Luther King in Selma. How easy was it to become Robert?
They're never easy because I try not to pick easy roles. I always try to do things that scare me. And this scared me because how do you interestingly portray a good man, you know? I mean, and he is indisputably that.
How important, I know you're a man of faith, how important was his faith to this story?
I think it's the driver for him. I think, you know, sacrificial love is very exemplified, obviously, in the Bible, and it's an attribute I hugely admire in people. And there is a Christ-like disposition to Robert.
This is a chance for them to visit the finest school in the country.
Oh, well, how can I pay school fees?
No need for that now. Your children are very vital to our group. Brian is full of determination, but your daughter, her intelligence is very high, perhaps the highest among all my children. This opportunity could be very valuable to her. Allow your children to come with us to King's College, and I will find a way for them to enter school.
You speak no sense.
Academy Award-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o plays Fiona's mother, Harriet. You cried after reading only 10 pages of this script. What made you cry?
Well, because it was a script like none other I had been presented with. It was an uplifting African story from right across the border in Uganda. And it was a true story. And it was just so beautiful to me. And the Harriet that was on the page was this formidable woman who did everything to keep her family together.
Now take your time, because I want that girl out.
Mira Nair directs the film. David was your first choice.
Absolutely.
To play him. Why?
For many reasons. You know, I mean, I chase great work. I chase David Oyelowo. You know, in every film I've seen him in. And with Queen of Katwe, there were two reasons. One, that he had this uncanny resemblance to the real Robert Katende.
Okay.
And two, because he was a son of the continent, you know. And I, being a daughter of the continent, I really did want it to be, you know, populated with absolute authenticity. And for me, that's why David and Lupita, thank goodness, are bona fide Hollywood fantastic stars, but they're also sons and daughters of Africa.
Full circle for you, Lupita was your intern.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She is like a daughter to me, really, and I've seen her grow up.
Has anyone from Katwe become a city person?
Don't think about such things, Fiona.
Why not?
Because if you do, you'll be disappointed.
For children growing up in Katwe, Fiona's life brings them hope in a place where hope is in short supply. And you can see Fiona Mutesi's true story at cbnnews.com. And you can catch an interview with the executive producer of The Queen of Katwe, Troy Buter, on the 700 Club today on the ABC Freeform channel. He'll tell the remarkable story of how God led him to make this amazing film. Stay with us. We're coming right back. Just before the break, we introduce you to the real-life characters and the actors behind the true story, The Queen of Katwe. For a family-friendly movie review of this film, we turn now to our friends at Plugged In Online. Take a look.
Within Uganda's capital city is a terrible slum called Katwe. It's a place where just trying to come up with enough food to survive is a challenge. So you'd naturally assume that learning how to play the game of chess would hold no interest to the area's residents. But you would be wrong.
Young girl, come inside. What is your name?
Fiona.
Could you please show Fiona how to move the pieces?
In chess, the small one can become the big one.
The film Queen of Catway introduces us to Robert Katende, a man who decided to show a group of slum children how to move pawns and rooks. He reasoned that chess might just help kids think differently about life and perhaps motivate the illiterate to reach for an education. What Robert didn't know at the time was that some of his chess pupils would someday be numbered among the best chess players in his country.
Why are you letting her win? I'm not letting her.
You can see it moves ahead.
Checkmate. 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 She won.
And that was especially true for a young girl named Fiona, a girl who would come to be affectionately known as the Queen of Catway. In addition to giving filmgoers a window into life of third world countries, this film has a number of positive messages. It speaks of the strength of family and the power of serving others through a ministry. And it lauds both finding contentment in life and taking important risks to reach goals. There are some lightly unsettling moments here, including a traffic accident and some allusions to young women being victimized by men with money. But I'm giving the inspiring Queen of Catway 4 chess pieces out of 5 for family friendliness. For more on this film, check out pluggedin.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Cheryl Wilhelmy for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
A movie worth seeing indeed. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. We'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you right back here come Monday.